Welcome to my morning kitchen. This is Dorothy from TaiChiBozeman.com/rawfoodblog, and this video on raw coffee cake is also brought to you by favediets.com. First, we took some almonds to soak and sprout, and I soaked them in this. This is one of those ones with the strainer thing through, so you can fill it with water and then let the water drain out. So you filled it with water for one day and then let the water drain out the next day. And a lot of people are just soaking their nuts these days, but they're not. And they're nuts and seeds, but they're not sprouting them. You're supposed to sprout them first. So if anybody just says soak them, be sure you soak them and drain them for a good 12 hours, depending on the seed or nut. And they have to open up. So to open up, I don't know if video can get this close, but you'll see the little sprout coming out of it. And that's about all that an almond does right there. I don't know if that helps or not. So anyway, we soaked and sprouted our almonds, and we used 3/4 of a cup in the crust in the cake. So we're building the cake part first. And then to this we add the other dry ingredients, which is a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and I use the Himalayan crystal salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. I'm just going to go like that today. So I'm just going to grind that to a fine powder first. First I have to put the blade in, because I forgot to put the blade in. Or else it won't grind. Silly. Okay, here we go again, grinding this to a meal. So we're actually making almond meal. So now, if the camera could zoom in, you could come see how it's nice and ground nuts. And then we're going to add some more, a few other things, and make it into a nice cake that we can pat down here. So the next part is a teaspoonful of almond butter. Actually, it's a teaspoon, and 3 dates soaked for 10 minutes in the water. We'll put that water in there too. And that's it. No, a tablespoon of coconut oil. And for the coconut oil, I'm going to use some of the frosting that I made, and I'll tell you about that later. Since it's mostly coconut oil, lemon juice, and honey. Okay, now we'll grind that up again. That'll be our cake, our coffee cake. Use every bit of it. We're going to build a little cake here onto the platter, which will be very potent because there's no flour in this, just almond flour, right? So very potent, very powerful, very good for you. So you can have this for breakfast, and you'll only have energy all day. You won't feel bad like you would if you ate some store-bought full of sugar and fat cake. You'll feel great. And this is gluten-free cake too. So we'll make a little cake here. You could put this in a cake pan, but I wanted you to be able to see all sides of it, how pretty it comes out. This would actually serve like 4 people, believe it or not, because it's going to be so packed with everything you need, and rich. It's just going to be so rich. And then we'll put on, just for an extra ingredient, I'm going to put on some of my apple butter that I made in yesterday's video, so you can see that right below this. So apple butter. This is making an apple coffee cake, and you don't have to do this part. It's just that it's here and it's going to be really good. Apple cake. And then the frosting is this coconut oil frosting with lemon rind. And this is like half a cup of coconut oil, an eighth cup of honey, and a fourth cup of lemon juice. And also, as you can see, it's some of the pretty lemon rind. So we'll spread some of that on top. And then comes the topping. As if we didn't have enough toppings, we have one more. This is going to be a very rich cake. This is a coconut crystal topping. You just mix a fourth cup of coconut crystals, or you could use any kind of raw sugar as long as it's the not liquid kind, and a tablespoon of oil and a half teaspoon cinnamon. So you want to make it like sprinkleable. Isn't that pretty? That is the prettiest coffee cake. And if you're going to serve this at a raw food fest, you would clean up the plate and make it look all pretty. Put some decorations around it. To your health, look at that. From Dorothy at taichibosman.com/rawfoodblog. A raw coffee cake from favediets.com, and this is going to be really good for you. Enjoy it for breakfast or any time of day.